So hey John, seen your video on the X5, your second video. So, wipe the head clear. It's a weird thing. I've got this little nephew Milo who's completely obsessed with Spider-Man. The X5 is kind of like Spider-Man. Think of shooting a web across all 5 engines. Now, the way the Plethora works is you've got 5 engines. The pedals are called engines. And you've got 70 tone prints on each one of them of stuff that you can screw with. So you can make your own tone prints and store 70 favorites. Forget Helix. The way that you've thought about building things up to this point, everything's changed. It's a new dimension completely. So when you take a tone print, you think of the mash pedal, for example, as an expression device. Typically in an expression device, you have a line going up like that or a line going down like that. You can change the width of it, you can change stuff. That's the way an expression pedal normally works. You're going from 0 to 127 and you're following a curve. Not in the Plethora. In the Plethora, you can wiggle. You can say, okay, at the start, I want it high. Then you can go low again. Then you can go high again. Then you can go low again. And that's just on one tone print. With the expression pedal, and I did a video on this way back when, and this is a really hard thing to eloquently put. You can go and hit 3 parameters on all 5 of those engines. So whilst this one is going down, the other pedals can go up, the other one can be down again, and as you move from that 0 to 127, all of those things can oscillate freely, like this, like spiders. Not curves, but weird interactions across all of them, and that's really powerful. So your delay can be dropping, your reverb can be going up, but think in terms of 5 things. To do that in Helix, using snapshots, using the limits, and all of the Plethora stuff here well predates the stuff that we got in 3.0 when we went to polyphonics. So this is an old pedal now that's doing stuff that nobody else does. Get into that. You need to look at these curves and then do things that you've never done before, like that. Move stuff up and down and around and around. You'll see there are 5 positions, and you can just tease those things by hand on screen. It's weird. It's kind of like Lego, where your bits are preformed, but you can string them together in ways that you can't imagine. Now imagine piping hot wax over that and melting it, and it forms a new shape or a new thing. That's the Plethora. It's unbelievably powerful what that thing can do, and you haven't even touched MIDI. So one expression pedal will give you 15 parameters dancing like that. Then you've got 3 hot knobs that do the same thing. So that's 65, I think, things that are just doing stuff. It's out of this world powerful what that thing can do. With MIDI, you can add even more little jiggly things in there, and you can throw LFOs at it, or you can use apps that do a similar thing to those lines that move up and down. There are apps out there in the world, in iOS, Mate, where you can record changes in movement from 0 to 127, but kind of like a DJ scratching on a record. You can vary with time, so you're adding another dimension. It's not just X and Y, it's X and Y over time. And things can happen, and then you can loop that MIDI feed, which is gesture-based almost. It's completely different to anything that the Helix has ever done. You know, and by that, all the other things that are out there. Everything else is straight linear curves, maybe where you can set limits. This, extra dimensions, extra moves, extra things, play with it. Just take the thing and forget the rules. Do stuff with it. It's wicked. Really is. You're making me want to bring mine out now and do stuff with it again. But I got Keeley stuff to mess with. Seriously, dude. Stick with it. Keep going. Attach an expression pedal in there. Watch the first FAQ that they did before they did any of the hyper MIDI stuff that we asked them to do. Just look at this thing from way back when it was dumb. It is so smart the way that Anders and Paul Scott put this thing together. It does things that nothing else does. It's a modulation freaking gun shit. You will see. Like the sounds that you were getting out of that with the loop print stuff, I think they were cool, but you haven't even scratched the surface of what that thing does. It's wild. Still, even to eat 4 years, it's wild, man. Mess with it.